Hi everybody, good afternoon. Welcome along. Today is Monday the 22nd of June 2020. This is our 4 p.m. movement snack, sway and stretch. Hope you've all had a good day. If this is the one you're looking for, then stay with us. If not, then please scoot on back, find the one that you want, and then we'll find you on the catch up. See you later. Okay, if you're going to stay with us, then let us know what you've been up to today. Had a great day today. Met my daughter. We met our daughter in a country park for a bit of a walk and a catch up with our newest granddaughter who was born the day before lockdown. So it's good to see how she's getting on in real life rather than just across Zoom and the like, all these electronic channels. So it's great to do that. Nice, beautiful walk out in the country as well. Lovely sunny day here in Coventry. Hope you've all had a good day. Hope the weather's good where you are. A little bit late start than I normally are for a little bit of a preamble, just trying to get the camera angle right for you so you can see everything. Hi Carol, good afternoon to you. Hi Christine, good afternoon, welcome on board. Come and say hello when you come on board, so let us know what you've been up to, what you've been doing. Hope you've had a great day. Been doing some crowbarring, getting those extra additional movements over and above the additional movements that we're doing through our snacks in there. Let us know how you're getting on as well. It's really good to always find out when people are getting on. As we've said a couple of times, we don't tend to see the improvements ourselves, and sometimes now things are easing a little bit. We'll see people who haven't seen for a while, and they'll make comments about how much more mobile we are, perhaps, or how we're doing something a bit easier than we seemed to be able to do before, perhaps in a bit less pain, all those sorts of things. So it's always great to know when people tell us as well, isn't it? We don't tend to see it ourselves because we're around ourselves all the time. Hi Dee, in from Calgary. Canada's with us. Come on board and say hello as you come on board. We're getting ready for our 3, 2, 1. I'm a little bit late with my preamble today. Time taken me away. I set my camera up, went through the flow, and realised you couldn't really see parts of it. So I've moved everything around a bit so we can squeeze everything in. Hi Gillian, good afternoon from Port Talbot. Sunny here too, that's great to know. Hi Myra, welcome aboard. Wendy, good in from Shrewsbury, loving the sunshine. Doesn't it make a difference, a bit of sun? Good afternoon Sheila, so the collective is ready and in the house. Gillian, you're here as well. Our other Gillian, so I think that's the Port Talbot posse that's in as well. Susanna, good to have you with us from Dundee. Cycle riding a huge Tesco shop, ready for the stretch, and so a huge Tesco shop. Have you shopped out? Have you shopped out, Susanna? Good to know you've been out and done stuff though. That's always good. Good afternoon, Vivian. Hello to you. Welcome on board, everybody who's joining us. We've just about a minute past 4 o'clock. We're gonna scoot past a little bit so we can just let a few other people come on board if that's okay. Because I was a little bit later with my preamble than I wanted to be. As I was just saying, I got everything set up. Did a practice run through of what I want to do and realised that I needed to put the camera a bit further back so you could see some of it because we want to be able to see leg motions and the like. Okay, let's go for our 3, 2, 1. If you want to lose the comments before we do that, then swipe them to the right. You can get rid of those. Go with our 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Dave Montgomery. Today is Monday, the 15th of June, 2020. This is our 4 p.m. movement snack. I'm from Later Life, and our mission here with Make Movement Your Mission is to give you additional movement minutes over and above your everyday activities. You've already had 2 sets today. So you had Kelsey with you at lunchtime and Bex with you this morning. Giving you some additional movement minutes to start off your day and to keep you going during the midday, during our noonday, as we like to call it. So already got about 30 minutes of additional movements in. This is another 15 minutes to pop on the top of it. This is our sway and stretch. You can do this in a standing position or you can do it in a seated position. If you're in standing, make sure you've got plenty of support around you. Make sure it's fixed support as well and it's external. In as much as it's something that you can utilise. It's not like the back of a chair, dining room chair, something like this. It's something that's fixed and stable. If you're in a seated position, then that's fine. In a seated position, assume an active seated position. So our bottom, imagine they're the feet of your bum, and you're lifting tall through those. Before we do anything, let's set our posture. So standing with our heels in line with our knees and our knees are in line with our hips, we're going to grow an extra inch from our ribs. Grow an inch between your ribs and your hips. Lift the shoulders up, back and down, bringing those shoulder blades together, opening our rib cage. We're going to go straight in for a circulation booster. With our circulation booster, holding on for support in our standing position if we want to, let's go straight into a march. Now, ball of the foot coming down onto the floor first and rolling through to your heels. So think about your ankle, feet and toes. And if you can, make the ball just in front of the ball onto the toes, make contact with the floor first, and then roll it through to the ball and then to the heel of your foot. Okay, in our standing position, we're holding on if we need to. In our seated position, then we can do exactly the same again in our seated position. So lifting the foot, pointing the toes down towards the floor first, rolling through from toes, ball of the foot to the heel. You might find in a seated position, this becomes quite a big move here onto your hips. So you might want to just bring it back down to a foot pedal, just pushing up onto the balls of the foot and the toes, or you may even want to do a tap of those toes in front. The choice is yours. You go with what you are comfortable with. Utilise your support that's there in a standing position. We're going to add an arm movement in as well. So single arm, and the movement here, look, we're working from our shoulder, elbows at 90 degrees, and we're trying to keep it relatively steady there at 90 degrees and work through our shoulders. If you feel steady and stable in a standing position, then both arms. If not, if you're using support, then every now and again, take as many turns as you need, steps as you need to turn around and work on the other side. Or if you've got support on the other side of you, as I have here, I can change my support and move from side to side. In our chair, in our seated position, let's just pull this a little bit closer for you. So we've got our march going there, or we've got our toe taps or heel raises. We've got our march in here as well, or you can utilise a bit of a diagonal pull across. So bringing the hands together in front, pulling them across in towards us and guiding those elbows back through the side of the body. The focus is on mobilising our shoulders for us. That's what we're wanting to do. Now, the circulation booster is exactly what it says. So we're trying to boost the circulation, trying to get the blood pumping around the body a bit, providing more oxygen around the body, loosening those joints and warming the muscles. Now, if you've had a busy day, this might have an opposite effect to a bit of a warming of everything. It might be a bit of a calm down for you before we go into our sway and a stretch. If you've just got up from a standing position, then this is something you might want to do every now and again when you get up from a standing position. But what it's doing is just switching the body on, ready for us to actually do the activity. Okay, take a pause there for me. Bring yourself into a wider stance. So feet are just outside our hips in line with our shoulders. In a seated position, exactly the same. Have a look at the motion with my arms first, okay? So I'm going to take the arms forward, keep one arm there and pull it back, bring it back in and down. Cross to the side, pull back in, come forward and down. We're then going to take the arms up, bring them in towards us at the front, in towards our chest and push away. Okay? So have another look and then you can decide if you want to do it in a seated or standing position. So firstly, from side on, look, first arm movement comes out diagonally. One hand stays there, the other pulls back. I bring it back and bring it down. Now if I show you from the other side, when I take it out on the other side, I come out in line. Pull back, come back in and down. From there, I'm going to take the arms up, ideally level with our shoulders, but to where you feel comfortable, in towards the front. So look, as I come in towards the front, it's that motion there, look, in towards the front. I bring the hands in towards me, keeping them in contact, and then turn the palms to the ceiling, push away and down. Okay, in our seated position, exactly the same. We're coming forward diagonally first, one hand stays there, I pull back, come back in, bring it back down into the centre and then across out to the side, so parallel with the body. Across, back in and down. Both hands come out to where we feel comfortable, out in front, pull towards me and release. Now, if you're in a standing position and you want to have your balance, you want to have your support there, then feel free to do so. We can still do this move. So we can come out diagonally, we can pull across, we can come in and down, we can take out across the body, just keep it there, bring it back in, bring it up, round to the front, in towards us, palms away and out. We can then take as many steps as we need to change direction or change our support on the other side, and exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so let's give it a go with the arms firstly. So for this, get yourself a wide-ish stance. Okay, so hands come diagonally forwards. Keep one hand there, pull it back towards your shoulder, take it forward, bring it down. Take it out directly to the side, pull the hand back, come forward, come down. Take both hands up, in towards the front, pull towards you and release out. Okay, that's our hand movements. In our chair, exactly the same, and then we would do it on the other side. So we come forward, pull back with one arm, come forward, swing back down. Out directly to the side, pull back, come forward and back down. Take the hands up, bring them out in front, pull towards us, palms towards the ceiling as we push away, down and round. Okay, take a pause there. Let's have a look at the feet. All right, so just store that away. Standing with our feet shoulders width. First thing we're going to do, if we're using our support, feel free. As the hand goes diagonally, I step forward diagonally. Heel comes down first, toes come down. We stay there as we pull this hand back and come forward again. As we bring it back down, we step back in, toe through to heel. Hand then goes to the side, I step to the side, toe through to heel, we shift the weight. As we come back with that hand, we shift the weight across, come back forward, and as you bring hands down to the centre, I step back in. Again, ball of the foot through to heel. From there, we stay where we are with the feet, hands come up, into the front, towards us, and push away. Okay, so have a look as I put it together, and we'll build on it as we go through the week. So the whole action looks like this. I step forward, I pull back, come forward, step back in, out to the other side, pull back, come forward, step back in. Knees soft, up, around, in, and push away. All right, in our seated position, exactly the same. I'm in the front third of the chair. I'm going to take the foot out as I come there, heel first, pull back, away, bring it back in, out to the side, toe first this time, shift the weight across, pull forward, down and bring the foot back in, arms up, out to the front, back in, palms to the ceiling, push away and down. Okay, so that's our full move. Have a practice of it. Go back through the video, have a practice, and we'll build on that as we go forward through the week. So tomorrow we'll put the whole move together straight away. We're then going to add some head movements into it as well, and some more shifts of weight. All right, so there we go. That is our three-dimensional movement that we're going to work on throughout the whole of the week. So we've just done legs on their own, and we've just done arms on their own, and then I've shown you what it's going to look like as we put all together, which we'll do from the start tomorrow. All right, have a practice and decide whether you want to do it in a standing or a seated position. Let's move on to some stretches. So from there, first of all, with our support, we're going to work into our calf. So with my support, I'm going to take a foot back, ball of the foot comes down onto the floor, and I roll through to my heel, and then I just bend the front knee to lean forward into it. It's a straight line from my head down to my heels, so I'm not tipping forward. Equally, I'm not standing straight, so I'm not putting any pressure on this back here. I'm just letting my body lean into it. Seated position. We take the foot out, toes pointing up, heel relaxed down on the floor. Yep, sit tall and then slide the heel away and bring the toes in towards your shin, but keep this knee soft, so don't let it lock. Stay tall, stay in that posture, shoulders back. Keep the eye line to the front, and you should feel a lengthening of the muscle through the back of the leg. 12 to 20 seconds, 20 seconds if you can, and then change legs. So either step out and bring the toes in as you push the heel away, or change your other leg. Toe down first, ball down, heel stays down, and then we bring ourselves forward into it. Now, you should feel the stretch, but you should never feel any pain, all right? So you should feel the muscle lengthening, and what we're doing is returning it for after the movements that we've done. So we're just lengthening it. You should feel that, but you shouldn't feel any pain. You shouldn't feel any heat, and you shouldn't feel any twinging. If you do, relax out of it a little bit. If you feel it starting to ease off, so likewise, if you're here and you start to feel, actually, I can't start to feel that anymore, just let yourself come into it a little bit further, or push your heel away a little bit further. When you've done that on both sides, take a pause. We're going to come to the back of our thigh. Okay, in our standing position, both feet flat on the floor, we can take one foot forward, heel down first, and then put the foot flat on the floor. From there, with our support, we're going to hinge from the hip and just push the bottom away after we've stood tall. So we stand tall first, as we always do with our posture, and then just hinge from our hip. The bottom's going to push away. This knee's going to bend simply because I'm hinging. So this back one, and my front leg is straight, but the knee isn't locked. Again, we hold it for 20 seconds, 12 to 20 seconds. Seated position. What we're going to do is go back into the start of that stretch that we had for our calf. Heel down, toes up. Hands on the supporting knee. Lift tall and hinge from your hip. Now that lift firstly lengthens that muscle at the top here. It goes from the back of our knee up to into our bum. So it lengthens it a little bit at the top first. By hinging forward then, we're bringing that lengthening of the muscle on through there. We don't want to feel it in our calf, however. So if you feel it in your calf, just relax your foot a little bit more. Yeah, you want to feel it here. And ideally, we don't want to hinge too far forward. We don't have to hinge too far to feel that if we lift firstly. Change to the other side. So other leg in our standing position. We're either stepping forward on that foot, stepping back on the other one, hinging from our hips so the back knee bends, the front leg stays straight, and we feel it down here. And what you want to do with this, if you can see from the front here, when I do that, my feet point in the same direction. Yeah? And it's the same with that calf stretch when you do this in a standing position. Try and get your feet to point in the same direction. That will help to isolate the muscle that we're looking for. After you've done your 20 seconds of that, release, have a little breather, have a little slump in your chair if you sat down for a minute, give your posture a little bit of a rest. Moving on, we're going to come into our upper body. So, it's a good stretch to do in a seated position anyway. So if you stood up, let's bring ourselves into a seated position. Remember, we take a couple of steps back until we can feel that chair behind us, and then in a controlled manner, we lower ourselves down into the chair. We don't let ourselves flop. Once we're there, a hip walk to the front third of your chair. And this is a really good thing to do when you come to a standing position anyway. From here, it's a lot easier to stand than it is when you're at the back of your chair. All right? Couple of options for you. Hands onto the bottom and draw your shoulder blades towards each other. So draw your shoulders back and shoulder blades towards yourself. You'll feel a lengthening across your chest. You can take your hands onto the back of the chair and ease back, or even just onto the side of the chair there and ease back. So again, drawing these shoulder blades back. Do which one is comfortable for you. But if you have a look here, look, what I'm doing, drawing those shoulders back, and you can see from the material on my t-shirt that we're lengthening across here. And that's what we're trying to do. We spend a great deal of our life with our shoulders start to come forward into this position here. We want to lift them back, open that rib cage, and all the stuff you've been doing all day is postural movements. We've been stretching and we've been working on that position. So have a real good stretch across the front of your chest. 20 seconds is what you want to hold that for. And then from there, our last stretch, again in a seated position. Sitting tall, take one hand and place it on your shoulder. Ease the elbow up and walk your fingers down the back of your shoulder blade. Keeping your head level, hold it there. Now, just take it to where you feel the stretch in the back of the arm. When you're ready, a hand down and a reach towards the ceiling. And then lift a little bit higher. So don't necessarily come across, just lift a little bit higher. If you find that uncomfortable to take your hand into the air, what you can do from there is just try and lift a little bit higher. And this, you will get a little bit of a lean this way just to try and get that bit of lengthening through here. Excellent. And hold that hand down. On the other side, hand on, ease up and walk the fingers down the back of the shoulder blade. Feel that there, hold it for a few seconds there, 12 seconds there, then hand down, reach up, and then reach a little bit taller. Now what we're doing here, we're lengthening through the side of our body, but we're also lengthening those muscles that are in between our ribs. They're called our intercostal muscles, and they help with our breathing. So they help with the inhalation and the exhalation. So breathing in and breathing out. Give them a little bit of a stretch every now and again. They work tirelessly for us all day long, all night long. 24/7 they're working, okay? So give them a little bit of a stretch as well with that one. Okay, that's our sway and stretch for today. Let's say, have a go back, have a look at the movement, have a look how it feels for you. Decide whether you want to do it in a standing position or a seated position. Decide if you want to do it holding on to support if you're in a standing position. Choice is totally yours. You decide what is right for you. And tomorrow we'll put it all together. Okay, so there we go. Have a great evening, everybody. I hope you manage to keep crowbarring in those additional movements. So think about how you can do some of that swaying motion. If you think about our shifting of weight, we can do that throughout the day. You know, and these three-dimensional movements are about that precisely. We do these sort of movements all day long without necessarily thinking about them, and we're isolating it in this instance. Okay, you have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. You have Bex with you at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you've got Kelsey tomorrow morning at 12 o'clock. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.